Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. I know it has been quite some time. It's been like, what, 3 or 4 months since I posted a video here. We've been having some cloudy, rainy, not so good weather here lately. Which I say not so good weather, but it's actually a blessing that we've had this weather. Because North Carolina has been in a drought the past like 2 or 3 months. And we've been under fire ban. The fire ban was lifted about 3 or 4 weeks ago, so it's starting to get a little wet again. But we're inside because it's wet outside. It's real rainy, real cloudy outside. Not really good weather to be filming outside. So we're not gonna be messing with a combine or any sort of farm equipment today. We're inside. We're actually in the basement, which I'm not gonna turn my camera around and show y'all anything because the basement is a huge mess. Just look at that corner right there. You can obviously tell I had to move a lot of crap out of the way just to get this toolbox, little tool technician cart in here. But anyways, we're going to be doing a video on this since I had literally nothing to do and I hadn't posted a video in quite some time. I figured I'd do this video just so, you know, y'all don't lose interest in the channel. I can give some new fresh content. Do not know when I'll have this video out. Probably sometime late tonight or tomorrow, Monday, something of May 2026. I do not know what the date is. I do not keep up with time as much as I should. But we're giving a kind of review, look over, walk around of my tools and this new toolbox and all these new tools that I got. I got this for Christmas. My papa bought this for me for Christmas. And then he also bought me a lot of these other tools and stuff as well to go with it. So yeah, I got all this for Christmas because I wanted to start fixing things and getting into fixing things and stuff like that, messing around with tools. So over the past year or two, I've been messing around with tools a lot more now. And I figured since I got all these tools now and me and him built this toolbox, I would show y'all what all tools and stuff I have. Because I just moved this over to the house early this morning. So yeah, I'm gonna be showing you all my tools, stuff like that. I know this is a pretty long intro here, but anyways, let's get Alright, so moving on to the top of it, this little big storage container. So we're gonna start off with this Cobalt toolbox. Looks like it's still locked a little bit. Let me move it to where y'all can see it. Get this thing out the way. So this is a 55 piece socket, like a socket toolbox. So it's got my all my sockets, everything. It has the measurements of what socket. It's got like the American, and then it has metric system. So it has our way of measuring things, and then it has metric system, the way most people in most countries measure things. So we have a 3/8 ratchet here. As you can see, just a standard normal 3/8 ratchet. Switch it back and forth, left or right. Just a good old 3/8 ratchet. Pops down in there like that. And then we have our way of measuring things. You know, you got 3/8, 7/16, a half, 9/16. 9/16 I use the most. Then you got 5/8 and a bunch of other stuff. And then down here, of course, you have the metrics and their way of doing everything. Not going to get into that. Not really going to get into too much detail with that. Then up here, you have a extension for this. I think this is like what, a 6-inch extension, something like that. So this actually goes on the socket, so it can be longer. So if you have hard to reach places or places where it takes an extension, you can put this on there. And that dude, he just pops in there like that. If I can get him in there, pops in there like that. Then you have another extension. I think this is what, like 3 inches long, and it's a smaller extension. Then up here, of course, again, I have all of my sockets and everything that I need. I'm gonna put that back in there. I'm gonna close it. Closes just like that. Like I said, this is a Cobalt 55 piece socket wrench set. So if y'all want to go to Lowe's or Harbor Freight, pick one of these bad boys up. I do not know how much money these toolboxes go for, but I think they're relatively somewhat affordable. I'm not going to say cheap. Nothing's cheap anymore. And then over here, this is a Pittsburgh 9-piece wrench set. I know there's no wrenches on it because I have all my tools in the drawer. But if y'all wondering what that was, then right here, this is just the owner's manual, safety crap. I'm not going to read none of that. I don't really read the owner's manual, especially for a toolbox. Who reads the owner's manual? And here I have some bolts, extra bolts, I guess. I hope they're extra bolts. I hope we put everything together right. I think it comes with extra bolts. Then I have my keys in there because I don't want to have to lock and unlock this thing constantly and have to keep up with my keys. I'd probably lose them. Right here, we have safety glasses. This did not come with the toolbox or anything like that. That came from an older toolbox that I have. Up here, I have some electrical stuff. I actually just took these off about 20 minutes ago. We are switching over to a more modern style electrical switch thing for the room. So we moved from these ones that you flip up and down to the big old long rectangles. You know, to turn it on, you go up here and then you hit down at the bottom to turn it off. So we're switching over to a more modern style. I honestly don't care what, you know, electrical switch style we use, but my mom and dad, they wanted to switch over just to something a little bit more nicer looking. I am going to miss kind of the original traditional way of doing it, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the top half, this big container section of this toolbox. Now let's move on down here and see what other tools and goodies. Okay, so these are the first two drawers of this toolbox. The first two, these are just your little smaller ones. So in this one, I have all of my screwdrivers. I have Phillips head, and then I have these. I think these are straight blade, people call them. But me personally, I call these screwdrivers flatheads. That's just the name I came up for them. You know, they're flat. You know, sometimes I go catfishing, so, you know, flathead catfish. So it just, I've always in my lifetime called them flathead screwdrivers, but I'm pretty sure they're called straight blades. So whatever you want to call them, I call them flatheads, you call them straight blades probably, whatever, you know. I like to make up my own terminology for a lot of things. I call them flatheads, but straight blades if you're more familiar with that term. Then I have some smaller ones down here. I have straight blade, and then I have a Phillips head for those smaller screws. Not really anything to go into too much detail with. I mean, they're just, you know, Phillips head and then straight blade, just different sizes for different screws and stuff. Nothing really too fancy. Then we have these right here, you know. So, yeah, I mean, just nothing fancy. I mean, they're just, you know, different size Phillips head and straight blades for different size bolts and nuts and stuff like that, screws, stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, nothing really important in that drawer. Now moving on to this drawer, this is where I have all my wrenches and stuff. So this is where all those wrenches were. I took them out. I probably should have kept them in, but I wanted to take them out so I could organize them. So I took all the wrenches out of there and I put them into this drawer here. And here I have a T-handle driver set. So, yeah, I've got that in there. So that's very interesting. I'm not going to open that up because I don't want to tear it up or nothing. That'll maybe be for a different video, something like that. And then down here, of course, I have all my wrenches. See, that's a 11/16. Got a 9/16, which I use the most, as y'all can see there. And then I've got the rest of my wrenches and stuff like that. Not going to really go in too much detail, you know, just some good old wrenches for different size stuff and things like that. So moving on down to this drawer down. Okay, so in this drawer we have quite a bit of things. I don't really have anything in a particular order. I wanted this to be kind of my woodworking drawer, but as y'all can see, I've got a little bit of woodworking and a little bit of mechanics and a little bit of, you know, other stuff. This is primarily a woodworking drawer, as y'all can see here, just with the saws and the hammer and the measures and everything, the gloves. But then over here, this is more of the mechanical side of things. Then I have some of these magnetic pans, so when I take stuff apart, obviously doing mechanic work or something where I got to take a lot of bolts and screws apart, I can slap them in there without losing them. You know, it's magnetic, so it'll just stick to the surface here, so I don't have to worry about keeping up with them, putting them in a bag or putting them in a pocket and losing them or forgetting to take them out or whatever. Right here, this is a Cobalt 16-ounce hammer. Then I have another hammer. How many ounces is this? Looks like it's rusted off, so I can't tell. Y'all let me know down in the comments below. Then I have a tape measure. This is one of those small tape measures. I don't really like the small ones, but this is actually a tape measure I got whenever I was like 8, 9 years old. My first ever little tool set. Got some sandpaper here if I ever need to sand something down. I got it cut up into different pieces. Got me a little saw here. I mean, you talk about some sharp stuff. I mean, that thing will cut you just from touching it. You know? Why in the world is there a steak knife? This would be a steak knife right here. You could tear through some steaks with that thing. That's not the only thing you can tear through with. You can tear through your skin too and bleed out, and well, that would hurt and be bad. Then over here I have some more wrenches and stuff. I ran out of room in there, so I just threw these down here. Got me a pair of Craftsman pliers. I know I have a lot of Cobalt stuff, but that's just because Cobalt, I think, is the most budget-friendly, cheapest, you know, pretty reliable tool, especially for somebody starting out. You know, like I said, I just started taking an interest in tools and stuff, so Cobalt is just what I'm going to start out with. I do like my Craftsman. I know Craftsman ain't really all that good. I'm pretty sure they got rid of their lifetime warranty, which is why a lot of people are switching over to Snap-on, stuff like that. I'm not hating against Snap-on. It's just I like me a good old-fashioned Craftsman tool. I know Craftsman's starting to kind of become a thing in the past, but whether it is or not, I love me some good old Craftsman tools. Even though they got rid of the lifetime warranty, they're still pretty solid built. Then I have some small screws where I switch those light switches out, and then that's pretty much it for this drawer. I have a small toolbox underneath this technician cart, so I'm going to show that. I have no tools in it. At least I don't think, so I moved everything out of that small one into here, into the drawers and everything. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the overall review of this toolbox. It's a US General. This is here, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a 4 drawer, so I think these were like $200, $190, $200, something like that. And then it has a top storage, so you can put more tools or maybe, you know, work on something in here. But that pretty much wraps it up for the overall cart itself. Now we're going to move down here to this smaller toolbox. So down here I have this Craftsman portable toolbox that you can just lift up here and carry anywhere, put it in the back of your truck. Then I have a Craftsman tool bag. I have no tools in this, and I got no tools in this. I had some of my Cobalt tools, but I moved them into these drawers here. This drawer I don't have nothing in because I ran out of tools. Don't have enough tools to fill it up yet. But yeah, this is another portable bag. I'm gonna hold on to this because I feel like if I'm ever doing woodworking or something like that, this would be very useful. You know, maybe put some screws or something down in these little pockets and put some hammers and screws and tape measures and stuff in here. This would be very handy in the future. Like I said, even though they got rid of lifetime warranty and stuff like that, I love me some good old Craftsman tools. Even though it's kind of old school and, you know, not really a lot of people use them like they used to when Sears was a big thing, I still love me some Craftsman tools. Then moving over here, this is the actual toolbox. You see, you got 3 drawers down here. They're each the same size, got no tools in them. And then if you flip these up, take these out and unlock it, then this lifts up like the technician cart does, and you can put a lot of more tools and stuff like that in there. Like I said, I got no tools in it because everything's been moved to my technician cart that this thing is sitting on. Speaking of this cart, you do have some storage down here to roll some stuff on. Obviously, I have my toolbox down here, so that's taking up the majority of space. But if you want to put like some tools or stuff or boxes or any sort of important thing down here, you can as well. Obviously, it's on wheels, so it's portable. It came with this little handle, so you can, you know, close it up, secure it, and then push it anywhere you want to. But yeah, it's pretty much all the tools over here to my right. And excuse me, this little working area is a huge mess. This is actually my dad's toolbox, as you can see. He loves Craftsman, and I love Craftsman too. You know, he's got a lot more tools than me, which he's been on this earth a lot longer, so he should have more tools, you know, working on stuff. But all sorts of stuff in here. I'm not really gonna go through all this because there's a crap ton of tools and stuff. This would take quite a bit. You see, you got pipe wrenches, hammers, all sorts of stuff. Everything you would need to do all sorts of weird, odd jobs, he's got a tool for. So yeah, I'm not gonna really get into too much detail. He does have a small Craftsman toolbox right there, a ladder for whatever, you know, whatever use you need to use it for, I should say. I don't know if there's any tools in there. Maybe we'll check that out, but probably not. It's a little dusty, and after this, I'm probably gonna go take a shower, so I don't want to get too dirty. But yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. I gave you a whole review, gave you a quick review of my dad's toolbox. Maybe y'all let me know down in the comments, should I do a tool review on this one, going through top to bottom all the tools, or should I just do this one? I'm gonna do this one for right now, but y'all let me know down in the comments if I should do this one. But now that we're pretty much over with the tool review, I think I should explain kind of what's going to be going on with the YouTube channel. So recently, as of like 2 or 3 days ago, it was my 4th year on YouTube. So my 4th year anniversary, might be my 5th year. I think that my channel is like 5 or 6 years old, but I've only been posting for 4 years. So I created this channel 2 years, and then 2 years before I decided posting. Then I decided posting to become kind of a part-time content creator whenever I'm not busy and doing things. And yeah, and honestly, I probably would be at 1,000 or maybe a few thousand subscribers if I wasn't, you know, slack off and be lazy, you know. So yeah, I'm trying to not be lazy anymore and get off my butt and film some more content and stuff. And I've got a lot of videos coming for y'all this summer. I'm gonna bring my phone around. I'm recording on my iPhone 14. I'm using a new app here, so I didn't feel like using the GoPro because this is, you know, not really. If it was something I was doing outside, I'd rather use a GoPro. But something we're in the basement, you know, on a cloudy, rainy, not so good looking day, I'll just use my iPhone because it's in my pocket. You know, it's charged up pretty well. But yeah, back here's the four wheeler. There's the tiller because we've been doing a lot of garden work. Here's the four wheeler. I got to get a new fuel pump on this. As y'all can see, we have a bunch of tools where we've been working on other things. Craftsman drill. Like I said, my dad loves Craftsman. About to die. Oh, there it goes. If you have a drill in your hand and you don't give it a few pumps and let it go around a few times, are you really a man? I mean, I feel like the first thing every man does when he picks up a drill is press that button and give her a few go-arounds there. Like I said, my dad loves Craftsman. This is actually not our tiller, this is my grandpa's. But yeah, this is a Craftsman tiller. It's about time to get a new one. It's not been having really many issues. It's just kind of getting old, starting to run hard a little bit. I mean, it does the job, as you can see, but it's just getting old. I think it's about 20, 30 years old. So yeah, she's getting old, and the you know, she's just a little rusty and not as good as she once was, you know, just like Toby Keith said. So yeah, she's just getting some age on her. She's not as good as she once was. So maybe in the future, as in the next coming years, we'll buy a new tiller. So yeah, but anyways, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up. Like I said, I got a lot of new videos. So if you like this video, let me know down in the comment section below if you want to see more stuff like this. I will catch y'all in the next one. If you like videos like this, like, share, subscribe, comment. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stay tuned.